Thank you so much for coming out tonight. My name is Colt Mikely. I am a student teacher of Dan Galaney's. I have been here since January, and I just recently accepted an offer at Green Bay East High School. So I'll still be around the area. Thank you so much. I have had so much fun working with these students for the past couple of months. And that piece, I think, really showcases how incredibly just vibrant they can be as an ensemble. This is the volunteer ensemble. That was a piece called Illumination by David Maslanka. It was originally made to be the first sounds that would happen in the auditorium of the band that it was commissioned for. And I think to start off a concert with so much amazing repertoire and so much hard work that went into it, it was fitting to have that first. So without further ado, please welcome Dan Galaney. So as our volunteer ensemble heads out into the hallway to meet up with our fully enrolled ensemble, I want to take this opportunity to give a shout out to these students. So hopefully most of you were able to scan the slew of QR codes that assaulted you as you walked into the auditorium tonight with the full program that has a little bit of a note about what the volunteer ensemble kind of is and who is involved in it. But it stemmed from this idea that we have some really, really incredibly talented students, and also I don't like to see freshmen drop band. So having music that is this challenging, that is this little rehearsal time, can be a really big ask. And for those of you that are parents of freshmen, you're like, this was a big ask? Like, wait till we hear what's coming up next, right? You've had to listen to them practice to it, right? But this volunteer ensemble commits extra time outside of the standard rehearsal to get this stuff ready. In the course of the last 2 months, we were able to have roughly in class about 45 minutes of rehearsal. Everything else, I don't want to take time away from the students that are enrolled in, our standard ensemble during the day, but this group really, really pushes themselves, and I'm very proud to be able to work with them. As the next ensemble is coming out, I just want to say thank you so much for being here. Once they get going, we'll get rolling as best we can. I will keep my comments to a minimum, but there is a lot of percussion changes, so I will give you a little bit of time in between where I'll tell you a little bit about the pieces that we're doing. That last piece is a piece called Bayou Breakdown by the composer Brant Carrick. Believe it or not, most of us, when we hear the word fugue, tend to think like Johann Sebastian Bach. That is actually a modern day fugue. All the inner voices, everything was a layer where until we had all four, technically five with the percussion, all layering together, playing the exact same main melody with all these different counter subjects in between. So it was a really interesting piece to get something modern day fugue into our concert band concert. So thank you so much for coming out. I'm gonna go make sure that they're all coming out, and we'll be out in just a second. So talk amongst yourselves. You don't have to be quiet until we get back out. The house lights will go off when you can be quiet, okay?
So as the percussionists get themselves adjusted and set up for the second song, that first piece was a tune called Danzas Cubanas. It featured three typical styles from the Afro-Cuban music tradition. The first third of that piece was in what's called a montuno style, using that clave and that piano riff. The middle section was in the son salsa style, and that final was was the mambo. That's so common in that culture. Really, really tough piece of music. Hopefully you got to see a couple of our different soloists around there. Bryce on trombone, Anna on trumpet, Cassidy over here, Sydney on piano. As well as an extremely demanding percussion section. However, you're going to see that is a common theme in the music that we have for you tonight, is the percussionists are doing a lot back there. So again, I want to talk as little as I can, but they do still need time to adjust. So this next piece is a piece by the Australian composer Jody Blackshaw, a really, really cutting-edge composer in the wind band world. This piece, called Letter from Sado, is written from the haiku of the same name. We talked a little bit about this in class, gave a couple of ChatGPT generated haikus for the ensemble, created some fun results. Was it thundering percussion? Was that I can't remember exactly. It was definitely an entertaining alignment of the personality of our percussion section though. But this piece uses what's called a color wheel score, meaning that there are multiple flute parts, but one is team yellow and the other is team orange. And we have clarinets that are team orange and then we have like red horns or blue horns or something. It's all based on color, so these instruments are all playing with different groups at different times, doing different dynamics that are going to create these really interesting effects. Hopefully you'll enjoy that. In the program notes you can kind of see a little bit, but Sado Island was an island primarily used for exile. So this piece is meant to evoke the emotional and personal journey one might go through exile. You'll hear in the middle section there's a unifying theme that the whole band plays together as the meant to represent the person in exile coming to grips with the connection to the island. The opening and closing use the exact same musical material. All of the notes and the rhythms are literally the exact same in their parts. It's all about how the ensemble is going to change it up. So hopefully you'll get to enjoy all of that. This is Letter from Sado. piece has slowly become one of my favorite pieces of band music that I've really ever worked with. There's so much creativity that goes into it and so much independent thought process from each individual musician of how they approach it. I'm just moving my arms. I could be doing this without anyone here and it wouldn't matter. They're doing so many cool things as an ensemble, and I just love that piece. As we're getting some instruments shifted over, some new things taken care of, this next piece is written in homage to Carl Stalling, who was a very famous cartoon and animation and film score composer. This piece, although due to copyright, none of this is officially, but as you can imagine with a title like Wabbit, we have an idea of who our inspiration is for this piece. A lot of twists and turns, a lot of fun storytelling. I think you might be able to, if you close your eyes for a little bit, you might be able to see the cartoon reel going on for a little while. This is animation. Yes, it was a hammer. There was a hammer if you saw it.
So when we were figuring out who was going to conduct what pieces, Dan asked me which one I wanted to do, and I said, not that one. It's a workout up there. I just want to say a couple thank yous. This will be the last piece that I'm conducting tonight. This night is about the students, and I'm so incredibly happy to have worked with them, like I said before. But I just wanted to say the administration and everybody involved with letting me come to West Ophir, my parents for letting me move back in with them for a little bit while I'm here. I went to UW Stevens Point, just like Mr. Glaney did. Yep, roll dogs. And so I've been there the past like 3 years, and actually when Mr. Glaney was doing his conducting recital for his master's degree, I actually played in that ensemble too. And so there's kind of this, Glaney is kind of like a legend in the Stevens Point area, and I knew that eventually I wanted to come and just learn so much from him, and that's exactly what I've done these past couple of months. Just really quickly, I want to let you all know, because I've been a student at UW Stevens Point, I have observed a lot of different school districts and a lot of different programs, and you all have incredible kids. Seriously. These are some of the kindest, hardest working, most thoughtful students that I have ever been able to work with. And I've been to a lot of programs and a lot of good programs, and this one is really incredible. The seniors tonight, you are all going to do such incredible things, and I hope music stays a part of your life. Even if it doesn't, I know because of the things you've learned in this band room, you're really going to go off and just be incredible members of society. Our last piece is called Industria. I'm a percussionist, and so he decided to pick all the really hard percussion stuff for this concert, and I've been able to help out a lot. This piece, it's technically not a band piece, it's a percussion ensemble with wind accompaniment. And so the percussionists back there have worked really hard and have just had so much fun working on all these amazing pieces. I'm incredibly excited to present Industria. Thank you.
before he heads off and we do our final piece, can we give one more round of applause? Colt Michael. It's rare to have someone be able to come in and forge quick, deep connections with students and be able to step in as a real, fully fledged, like running classroom teacher as a student teacher in such a short amount of time. And Colt has been, I'm saying Colt, all the kids are like, ooh, we can't call him that. But it's really been incredible to have him here and to be a part of his education journey, just, watching all the great things that you're going to do at Green Bay East. It's been an honor to have you here. Thank you so much. It's been great. All right, I'm going to try to go quick on some of this, but the people, when I say go quick, I need to be careful because the people that I'm about to recognize deserve far more time than I can give them. Every year we celebrate the seniors that leave our program, and the seniors are the backbone of the culture that we have. They create so much of the community that I pride this program on, and that motivates them to still be a part of music and hopefully still be a part of a musical community after they graduate. That doesn't come from me day to day. That comes from the way that they carry themselves when they get to the classroom, in rehearsal, with how they prepare themselves, and with how they think about music. I'm blessed and honored to work with all of the students, but especially with the seniors. And I want to make sure I can give them at least a small little bit of recognition. So this is in no order, as you can tell by my super organized box of cards sticking out randomly. Let's see who's the... all right. The first senior that I want to recognize is someone that I wasn't sure I was going to be able to recognize on this concert because this is his first year in third trimester. Michael has been just an incredible member of the trumpet section, always asks what he can do to help, and has normally been involved in our marching program. And this year, when I saw his name on second and third trimester, I jumped out of my chair with excitement. He's just a joy to have in class. Michael Casey. Another person from the trumpet section, someone who is incredibly hardworking, talented across multiple areas, and continues to give me a hard time every single opportunity they can, while still understanding what it takes to be successful as a performing musician and as someone who is involved in musical theater as well as jazz band in our concert program, Anna Holmeyer. The rarest of students that actually follow through when they drop band and say, I'm going to try to make it happen again. It's been so great welcoming you back, and I know your schedule's tough, and I know soccer's insane, but it's been great to have Megan Brooks back there after not even being enrolled in the class and still showing up for rehearsals and coming here on a Friday night to be a part of this community. Thank you so much, Megan. Whenever we're doing a piece of music that has some kind of open-endedness or something that we can create our own type of interpretation of, I can always rely on this student to give me some just rock solid suggestions, because the way his brain thinks about music is both really, really creative and also really, really analytical in a way that only someone who loves meteorology could be. Nick. Ways that I can tell I'm getting older is every time that this student talks, I have to be like a little louder. And it's not just because like my ears are, a band director's ears, but it is a very, very distinct voice. Not just the way he speaks, but the way that he carries himself as a musician. He has a distinct musical voice, and he carries himself in a way that leads by example with a quiet confidence and a get things done mentality that sometimes can not always be received by other people the right way. But your musical, looking around like he doesn't know. It's been an honor to have Ryan Greger in that percussion section. The embodiment of when a director asks to jump, they say how high. There's never a outward facing negativity from this person. Doesn't mean there's not inward facing negativity sometimes. I have a feeling I've done some things to make this person upset, but she always comes to class with positivity, always comes as one of the finest leaders I've ever worked with. Hope Ward. Most of these letters I put their first names on. I had to put last names on these two. Having a love for music is one thing, and having a drive for excellence is another. But when they come together and put themselves into the same world, it's really impressive to see someone be able to tackle goals that they have and really accomplish those, and to also be inspired by other people that have come before them, and to hopefully inspire others that come after them. I'm really excited to see what this person does moving after high school. It's been an honor to have you, Brady. Someone who is just ferociously loyal to their friends, who will be a spark plug in conversation, and also drives me up a wall sometimes. But only in lunch, not in rehearsal typically. Very often in rehearsal, knows that that's work time. And it's a very important difference to know, and something I appreciate about all these seniors. I say they like they give me a hard time. I give them a very hard time. But when we get into work mode, we all know that it's time to get stuff done. But outside of that, the conversations and the humor is going to be missed very much. Danny. The second half of our last name pair. Brady, the other Brady. Brady has been a student who has never stopped getting better and never stopped trying to learn. Always takes those that are around him and rises to that level and sets an example of quiet confidence and doesn't have to be flashy, but puts his head down and gets work done, and has an absolutely great musical mind. And I've been really, really happy to see that get kind of unlocked in the last 2 years, specifically in our jazz program. Brady. Another student that carries themselves with quiet confidence, and as a leader of one of our sections, and although it can sometimes be rare to see her face, whenever I do, I really love having her in the ensemble and seeing her go from being a flute player into a really wonderful bass clarinetist. I forgot that we played, like, you thought I was going to forget that you played flute for a little while, right? No. But transitioning mid-high school to a new instrument and taking it on into a leadership role, and really just being a positive force in that section. Amelia Delaney. Sorry, there's like 20 of them. But like I said, they all deserve their time. And this next person just committed to the program in a way that I would not have expected when I got to the end of her sophomore into junior year, and most of these students asked, what can I do to help? And I was like, you want to learn bass? And she's like, I guess. And now she's our Jazz 1 bassist and an incredible flautist, ripping great solos. I kept it from where's ever Mike Lee. I didn't say fat. All the Jazz 2 kids get it. But a really, really great flute player and someone who took on learning bass, again, midway through high school and just never stopped getting better at it. Thank you so much, Cassidy. The second half of our dynamic leadership group from our drum majors, I am constantly impressed when I see students, what I would say, come out of a shadow and find their own footing and find their own path that, I don't want to say defies expectations, because this student was always an incredible musician and someone who was always going to do incredible things in music. But when I've taught some of your siblings, it makes it difficult for me to sometimes look at you as your own unique person. And this person is so very different from both of your older sisters in such a positive way. It's been just great having you and seeing you develop into your own type of musician. It's been great. Josie. Someone who, whenever they come into a lesson, is always unsure of what they want to work on, constantly. But it's not for lack of trying, it's that they've practiced so much and have such a good idea of where their strengths are, where their areas for improvement are, that they have a great sense of what they need to do to be a better musician, and I love to see that for a student. I mean, sometimes I'd like to have like just one bit of clarity on like a lesson of, I want to work on this instead of like, I don't know, my ankle hurts. Sorry, I had to do it. Really wonderful flute player and piccolo player. And also like having two piccolos that kind of sound in tune with each other. My goodness, like every single day, Sophia and Anna are in my office tuning before class, making sure that I don't make piccolo jokes. And I don't think I've made too many this year. I don't think I've really done. They've been fantastic. Sophia Green. one of our seniors who the growth that I've seen from this person from freshman year, where I felt like conversations were a little one-sided, a little me talking at a student and not figuring out the person's personality until we kind of opened up a little bit. And once that started to kind of like the freshman terrified of Galaney wall kind of came down, I don't know why, I'm not that scary. It's The Office, I guess. They walk into the office and everything goes black. But seeing this person like develop a sense of humor through music and a sense of accomplishment and really, really great proficiency on their instrument has been awesome to see, and pair that with everything else that they do. Natalia. I thought it was our last flute, but I still have one more flute after this one. There's a lot of them up there, and a lot of them are seniors. This senior has a wonderful, wonderful attitude to music making and building the community of the ensemble. Really, really trying to lead with a smile and lead with support and developing friendships through music while still taking private lessons and improving on their instrument every single time that they pick it up. Really, really impressed with, again, from freshman to senior year, Brooklyn. I talked earlier about tenacity for learning and the drive for improving and getting better. And this senior has that in a way that I have so rarely seen. It's been really, really awesome to see this person develop that sense. And the best part is, as a music teacher, it's that it doesn't happen here in our program. And it sounds silly to say, but I love it when I see these students go outside of our building and be amazing musicians and amazing leaders outside of this space, because they found something that they're even more passionate about than high school music. It's music in general. Ben Devine. A late arrival to our district, a transfer student who I am just so incredibly grateful that the way that your life and our district came together. I've loved seeing the way that you have attacked music when you got here and having new opportunities or different opportunities, and at every single turn asking amazing questions about what you can do better and how you can improve and how you can find a new way to say something through music has been great. And even in the 2 short years that you're here, it's been a massive impact. Bryce. Last 3, and then I just have awards, and then we get to go and listen to more music. Someone who has taken on every challenge that I've asked of them throughout high school, when we've needed someone to switch instruments, when we've needed someone to play something for jazz band, someone to take solos, someone to run sectionals, someone to do, although there was an issue earlier today about some assistantship duties, I'm still going to give her credit for doing everything that I asked. Fantastic student, someone who I've loved seeing them run and be a part of the saxophone section. Brianna. right now to our last flute player. But it's fitting that it's our last flute player because she's not really even just the last flute player. Also is our band's oboist, which she picked up 4 months ago. Because midway through the year, I had said, hey, if anyone's interested in playing oboe, it would be great to get someone on that for going into next year. And Kate's like, can I do it for the spring concert? And just went after it. And this next piece, you're going to hear Kate have a wonderful oboe solo. And I didn't mean to. Kate's like, oh, God, oh, God, oh, God. But someone who is an incredibly talented musician who does what is needed for the program and is going to be missed, but just in so many ways outside of just musically in terms of the community building. Kate. You'll notice that some of these do sound similar in terms of people that have a drive for helping the ensemble or taking on new roles or being someone who has grown so much. And the truth is, it's because it's the ethos of our program. It's about community building, it's about becoming better, not about being the best, but making sure that each day is a step towards a better version of yourself as a person and a musician. And I can't think of a senior that embodies that more appropriately than Addison. So we have awards that are voted on by students, and we have awards that are recognition of great musicianship. There are two that I want to make sure that I give out now for our state honors musicians, students that are selected from the entire state of Wisconsin as the best of high school musicians that go to Madison in October, represent our program, and put forth just an incredible amount of time and effort into their craft. So our two state I'd be remiss if I didn't mention something here, and I didn't have this planned, I'm sorry, and I don't have a note. But there's a senior that I want to make sure that I give a shout out to that isn't able to be here because they're no longer a student at West Appear High School, because they're studying music at the Interlochen Arts Academy in Michigan as a senior and going on to study music. Trista Shep is not obviously a West Appear student, but not being here for a year doesn't remove you from our community or our culture or having an impact on all of our lives. And I didn't want tonight to go by without Trista feeling, I don't know if she's watching the live stream, she's probably in Michigan, I think she has a concert next week. I didn't want it to go by with her feeling like her 3 years here and helping our program were not going to be recognized. So Trista, who was also one of our state honors musicians, and found things that Mr. Shep and I went through to make sure that she could still participate in that. So many emails back and forth, but one of our state honors musicians, one of the three that we had between Trista Shep, Ben Devine in the orchestra, and Hope Ward in the state honors band, I want to recognize the two that are with us tonight. So the first award that I'd like to give out is our Louis Armstrong Outstanding Jazz Musician Award, which is voted on by our jazz ensemble. And the recipient for this year is someone who has learned from former students and takes lessons and approaches jazz with a love that I don't often see from teenagers. I'm really excited to see the work that he does as he continues on at the Berklee College of Music. Brady DeFrance. We have the Mariah Danforth Outstanding Band Member Award, which is an award that recognizes someone and who is voted on by the students in our concert band as someone who commits themselves to the program in ways above and beyond just the musical side of things, through our community, through the leadership, through selflessness. And I can't think of a more deserving recipient for this year than Hope Ward. The second to last award is not a student voted award. It is the Leonard Bernstein Outstanding Musicianship Award. And it's an award that I started giving away a few years ago when they came out with it, because it is a chance to recognize someone in the ensemble for the work that they put in on the musical side of things, more than just what we see on this. How they handle themselves in lessons, how they carry themselves in and out of the classroom, how they interact with people. And this year, there's so many amazing seniors. I mean, we have so many of them. I wish I could give this award out 17 more times. But the Leonard Bernstein Award for this year goes to Addison Cornwall. And the final award, before we perform our final piece for you, is the John Philip Sousa Outstanding Band Member Award. The person who embodies the outstanding and excellence in music that we seek to teach as band directors and that we want to recognize, voted on by the students in the ensemble as the person who most deserves to get this award. The John Philip Sousa Award winner for this year is Josie Crandall. Now, I need to go get a drink of water off stage because that was a lot of talking, and I'm going to pass out if I don't. So just give me 1 second. I'll be right back.
wanted to give a few thank yous from the senior class. And for those of you who don't know us, which you probably do now, my name is Hope Ward.
And I'm Josie Crandall.
And we were the 2023 drum majors.
First of all, we want to thank all of the parents that continue to support us for each and every performance. Our goal is to share our passion, and it wouldn't be possible without such an amazing audience to show it to. So thank you.
This performance has meant a lot to all of us seniors so far, and that is largely because of the people we are able to share it with. So to the underclassmen, thank you for your commitment to the ensemble. It makes the world of a difference. Without you guys, our ensemble would not be the same, and we are so thankful to be able to share this exact moment with you all. We want to give a special thank you to the juniors for being generous, patient, and hardworking. We are seriously going to miss you, and all the underclassmen included. Here are some quotes from the seniors for you to take on. There is a balance between having fun and paying attention. Once you find it, you will have achieved success. Be sure to live in the moment and experience all you can. Don't follow your heart, follow Mr. Met. Your success from each performance is not determined by Galani, or how many mistakes you make, or even how loud the audience cheers. It's up to you to determine for yourself how amazing you all are. Be your own #1 fan.
And then I want to invite Mr. Mikely back onto the stage. Of course, we also owe this last performance to our incredible student teacher, Mr. Mikely. He only joined us halfway through the year, but his impact on our ensemble will be long-lasting. Mr. Mikely gave us a fresh perspective on endless musical techniques and always believed in our success. His supportive energy throughout tough performance and 6:30 jazz rehearsals never went unnoticed. I can't imagine how difficult it must be to be so incredibly optimistic to an ensemble filled with angsty teenagers. All I want to say is thank you, Mr. Mikely, for making this last year of band such a positive experience. And last but not least, our band director, Galani. Our unforgettable memories from these last 4 years are thanks to Galani. No matter the time of year or the importance of the performance, Galani always prioritized pushing us past our limits, nurturing the musical talent and drive in each of us. In jazz band especially, I personally felt his passion for music every day. Galani worked so hard to ensure that every piece we shared with our audience was pristine and worthy of our pride. Galani created an environment that curated a strong sense of family within the ensemble. It is thanks to him that I am able to share so many incredible moments with my classmates. So thank you so much, Galani, for giving us seniors a place in this band family.
One thing that stuck with us throughout our years is the idea of the infinity loop. Way back in our freshman year, we discussed the musical hierarchy, similar to Maslow's hierarchy of needs, and being able to reach self-actualization on a piece. To be able to reach musical actualization, we strive to create an environment of belonging and safety. It's important that everyone is invested in sharing their own personal experience while also welcoming and embracing everyone else's. To represent the energy that is shared when playing a piece, we used an infinity loop. This is something we would like Galani to embrace at each concert, and so to commemorate that, here's a little something from us. We seniors ask that for one more time, we share the infinity loop of energy on this last piece.
I love what I do, and I love the students I get to do this with, and the young adults. The final piece that we're going to do for you tonight is Frank DeKelly's An American Elegy, which was written as a remembrance about the Columbine school shooting and the 15 lives that were lost. But it's a piece about hope, more than it is about grief. It's a piece about community, about coming together and finding strength and the ability to move on past the initial toughness that we deal with. The last time I programmed this piece, there's a school shooting that happened 2 days beforehand. Most of you know that today was a stressful day in terms of being a parent with school and the things that were going on, and a few weeks ago in Mount Horeb. This is the reality that we live in, and that we can find ourselves stronger through music and stronger as a community. Thank you so much for coming to this concert. Thank you so much for the support that you give us. I want to thank my wife, Lauren. I want to thank our administrators, Dr. Gerke, Mr. Eggert, Mr. Hurley, Mr. Schumacher. And I want to thank you as the parents for supporting your students as they are challenged musically. Thank you so much for coming out. Hope you enjoy American Elegy.